Hey guys, welcome to the Fair Dinkum Podcast. Today we spoke about social media, our negative experiences with it, addiction, and the psychology of using it. I hope you guys enjoy the episode and remember to subscribe.
The last time I used the app before I decided the next day I'm quitting.
Is this Instagram? Like you're mainly talking about Instagram because that's probably your most used platform.
Yeah, so it was Insta, and then I was kind of going back and forth with Facebook and Snapchat and Twitter. That was a lot. But yeah, so I kind of looked at it and then it said altogether on social networks it was 8.5 hours.
Like how there?
Yeah.
That's a lot.
Well, it's a bit hard to start a podcast like this, but I wanted to say to a relative of mine, Allah yarhamu, because he passed away from COVID. It was, I think, a day ago, 2 days ago. So it's something that it's affected, like, well, my dad, because they were best mates when they grew up. So just in case, like, his family and that are watching, just knowing that our prayers and our dua is with them. And inshallah, everybody on this podcast can send his parent or his dad dua. And yeah, inshallah, we can get him into Jannah. But I think he dies a shaheed anyway, I think. Well, we're not too sure anyway, but yeah. Allah yarham ruhu. Bad way to start a podcast, but it seemed necessary for the occasion.
What's it going around social media? Like the passing away?
Yeah. So yeah, it did. It went around. So his children are posting and stuff like that.
I think I did see it on Facebook.
Yeah.
I'm on Facebook now. I'm an old guy.
Yeah, you're bad, bro.
But that's good because it's good that now there's awareness for that kind of thing. Because it's not like common for people to pass away from COVID, at least like I know. There's only a couple of people in the community that I've heard of. And it's good if everyone's kind of like supportive, sharing the information around. Because one thing is to be conscious of COVID, but also to make dua.
100%.
Because it could have happened to anyone. Like it's not like, for example, old age and he passed away. Someone's like, oh yeah, he passed away. But it's like COVID, it's like, that could have been my uncle who got COVID or my best mate who got COVID. Because there's young people, middle-aged, old people all passing away from COVID. So it's like...
You don't know who it affects and how it affects them. But inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un, man. Go ahead, mate. Take us away. Sorry for starting it like that, but yeah.
On that, I can go on Facebook because I've been off Instagram and I've been like smashing Marketplace. That's now downloaded Facebook just to go on Marketplace because I wanted to buy some stuff.
Dopamine hits, huh?
Now I'm so I've gone on Marketplace because obviously I tried to fix up my like productivity setup, like my desk and stuff. So I've just been on Facebook, man. But it's so weird because I go like... It's weird how your brain works for me because like subconsciously I'll just open up Marketplace and how boring, how much things can be on Marketplace.
Even if you don't have something like intentional to buy.
Or even LinkedIn and stuff like that because I deleted Instagram. I had it and I was using the Fair Dinkum account. But then I started wasting like 20 minutes a day like on the explore page and I'm like, why am I spending this much time just scrolling, looking at random things? And I'm like, Bismillah, let me go. And I started scrolling LinkedIn. And then I started, and I was like, there's nothing on LinkedIn.
What do you see on LinkedIn? Because I just...
But I scroll and I'm like, this is a waste of time. I get no notifications. So it's like, and then Facebook, I just Marketplace. At least it's good because you might find something that's like worth buying. But it's still like such a...
I have a question. Is it FOMO? Do you reckon it's FOMO? Or did you ever look into why you were just automatically just going into it?
I think when I pick up my phone, it's like, what do I do on it? But recently, like, for example, the last 2 days since I realized this, I'm like, okay, why are you clicking LinkedIn? I asked myself, because LinkedIn is like, it's not like Instagram that's maybe
funny
like...
to me, but it seems like the most ashraf thing you can do.
Because Instagram, I had to ask Instagram because of this. Social media doesn't work for me because I know I have to spend time on it and I have to post. Like, I'm going to use it. Like, subconsciously, I just open up the app and I'm like, what the hell? So for me, personally, it just, whatever platform it is, I'm going to use it.
Yeah.
You know, I can't be like a part-time user. I'm either full-time or zero. And that's why LinkedIn now, it's because it's not as addictive, I can kind of question myself. Why am I using this? Same for Facebook. Why am I using it? And I probably should delete it because I feel like those two platforms, they're probably even better on your laptop.
Probably, yeah. LinkedIn definitely is.
And Facebook Marketplace, it's like shopping, going on Amazon. So you might as well just go on your computer.
In all honesty, I would think that like for the things you want to post and knowing the things you love to talk about and stuff, I think that LinkedIn would be your perfect social media app. Not like in a joking manner or anything like that, but in all honesty, I feel like the crowd would gravitate towards you more on an app like
But
LinkedIn.
The only thing I don't really like LinkedIn that much because I feel like it's a bragging platform. Like
It's the lowest.
Instagram is like, you post like what you're doing. You can post food, your vibes. You go on a road trip, but it's not like LinkedIn's like. So this is what I just did over the weekend. I
Is
just
it very
spoke
specific?
I just spoke at an event in front of 10,000 people, and this is what they
Everyone's got a
did.
story, bro. Everyone has a story, bro.
Because I made one,
You did?
but that's it. I literally made it.
Connect with us.
No, but like, I made it, and I was like, okay, I'll come back to it. I haven't got back to it. It's been 2 weeks.
But like for example, someone like when maybe we were growing up, we kind of Instagram followers was a big thing, and the same as Facebook friends. Like how many friends do you have?
Oh wow.
You got 100. LinkedIn is the same kind of thing. It's like how many connections do you
You
have?
have to have 500 plus.
Okay.
If you
Just
look-
to say that.
It says 500 plus if you have 1 billion or if you have 501. So that's the number people try to hit. So the other day, I never accept people I don't know. 'Cause that's just who I am. Like I'm on Instagram,
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah.
and then the same thing LinkedIn. And then my mate's like, nah, you got to accept everyone. You got to hit the 500 mark. And now I'm thinking about the 500 mark.
Who's
Like,
your mate? Name and shame.
the
I
guy
know
that
what
should
it
be
is.
sitting here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
And I feel like it's just, you have to use it obviously for business, for networking. It's got a lot of pros and stuff. But I don't know. I feel like I don't resonate. How about you guys? Do you resonate with any platforms or?
Bro, LinkedIn's the lowest. So I want to start off by saying that. Remember
Do
that?
you, do you have LinkedIn?
But he likes all my posts.
yeah, I do. Only
Oh, you're
because
the
I
guy
gotta
that says,
support
"Oh,
the boy."
great work, Ashraf."
I've seen him. Congrats, bro. But what happens is, bro, I put a 5-minute timer on it because I realized I was scrolling through this and I was getting angry. This is like me in general with every social media app. This is why I quit social media for ages. Every time I'd flick through it and I was doing research on this, apparently the social media applications like the bots and stuff like that behind the scenes. Well, basically they use anything that's gonna give you impulses. So it's gonna give you like an impulsive reaction. So whether more likely than not, it's gonna be a negative thing. It's gonna be something that pisses you off or something that kind of like puts you in an angry state of mind or whatever it is. But they usually do that in order to get quick responses. So you can have like a quick response. You know, your first reaction is angry, never to go, oh, you know, or oh, that's so amazing. Like that's never like an impulsive reaction.
And it keeps
for
you on
know?
the platform longer.
Exactly. Yeah. So and what happens is you go looking for something good, something that's not gonna make you angry, just to fulfill what's going on. And then what happens is you just keep getting more angry and angry and angry, bro. Like I told you in the marriage episode, when you go through that thing and then you see everyone's on the moon with their wives holding hands, it's just like, bro, no one cares, man. Just you know, but
that just comes to mind with comparison. Because like on LinkedIn or whatever platform, it's like people just bragging about their lives. So that's the first thing that comes to mind. It's like, that's the negative. It's like, look what he's doing and I didn't have the opportunity. But you have no idea what really happened.
yeah, 100%. Like like you said, the behind the scenes stuff of what's going on and the life of like the true real world, like reality of what's going on, are two completely different things because social media is the highlight reel of everyone's life. And we know that whenever we're consuming stuff, we never take into consideration this is just an overly exacerbated version of this person's life. This is just them sharing with me what looks to be an amazing thing that I'm missing out on, but in their reality, they're looking at somebody else's Instagram account. They're feeling the same way that I'm feeling looking at their Instagram account. So it's kind of like a cycle, a cycle of effery, if we're going to be honest with it. Do you know what I mean? Because I'm looking at you and you're looking at me and I'm looking at him and he's looking at you and everyone's looking at each other's highlight reel and everyone's getting depression.
Yeah, comparing each other, wanting what he has.
So there's if you've watched Social Dilemma, you know the guy with the dreadlocks on Social Dilemma, the hipster, you know, he looks like, you remember Cat in the Hat?
Yeah,
at the
the
end?
older brother who
Sunlight
wrote the book.
Petition.
Yeah.
Oh, you
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
You know that dude? Yeah,
Yeah.
so the hippie guy. So basically he did an interview with I think it was Channel 4 in the UK.
Okay.
And he delved into this idea that for two reasons you should quit social media. He goes for the sake of humanity and for the sake of yourself. And
Interesting.
he
That
goes
deep.
he goes more so the for the sake of humanity is more important than for the sake of yourself, but they can also like interchange or whatever you want to call it. So basically, he goes, the reason is because you're contributing to this ongoing issue of not only like relating these not these endorphins, I don't know what they're called exactly, but these chemical reactions for people that are causing them their psychological demise, you know. So you're going through, or you're projecting, or your good
You're increasing the rate. You're increasing the rate of it.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're producing more of it.
So your good news, basically. You're showing everybody what's happening with you. That's amazing, because you're not going to post, I broke my leg yesterday. Actually, you are, if you're going to look for sympathy, but...
yeah, that's another
I've seen
story.
that plenty of times, yeah.
Another story.
Ashraf done his ACL, and I didn't see a post. Actually, I didn't know you didn't, did I?
You did.
I did?
Yeah.
Did I say Allah yarhameh?
Nah, go on, yeah?
But
What else did the guy say?
So
That guy was a beast.
Yeah, bro, he's very wise, and he's like, there's like a machine that's working in the background to manipulate, and then wants to persuade, manipulate. I'm not too sure which one it is, but anyway, he's saying like the manipulation machine is basically just to keep you ongoing onto the app or onto the platform. So the more and more you're resonating with what's going on, or the more and more, because they call it, it's like a win-loss ratio. So what happens is you keep going through so many losses that the wins taste even better. So when you're he spoke about how Donald Trump gets hate on Twitter. So Donald Trump will get so much hate on Twitter, and then he gets that one person going, "We love you, Mr. Trump. I'm on your side," you know. And then he gets G'd about that one thing, and then so what happens is he puts himself in this cycle again. It's kind of like you against the casino, you versus the machine.
Okay.
You don't win a lot, but the wins taste sweeter because of how much you lose. Even though if you're looking at things from like an actual ratio, you're like 10-1 win-loss, you know? So, yeah, man, it's just interesting to understand.
Did he break that down for like all platforms? Did he include all, like TikTok, Snapchat, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, everything? Or was it like...
Yeah, just in general, it's more so platforms that you can kind of like receive that dopamine hit from. So retweets or follows or likes, you know. Snapchat, not so much. I don't even know if people are on Snapchat anymore in Australia, to be honest.
But how about TikTok? Because like Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, you post stuff and people react. A lot of times, I don't know what the stats are, but most TikTok users, I'd say, don't post. The more watches.
Yeah, majority.
So what about that? It's just, I know it's a time wasting, time drainer, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
But then what about that?
He didn't say anything about TikTok. I'm not too sure.
You use TikTok?
Me, yeah.
No, but a lot of like...
It's not really for like, sorry, bro. Not
No,
really
it's
for
alright.
social benefits or whatever it is that everyone else does.
Entertainment.
Yeah, man, I just got memes, bro.
Yeah, it's all entertainment.
Because we can't do a social media discussion and talk about LinkedIn. So we have to talk about TikTok.
So
yeah,
like when you
100%.
talk about like dopamine, like if you're not a creator and you're not getting the likes, it's all about like, oh, you're getting something funny. So it's entertainment. That's another.
Okay.
It's like, oh, I love this. I want more of this. And it's the sort of entertainment is like, it's so different to like YouTube or Instagram, because it's like, it's more personal, because you're seeing someone create it from their phone. It's like on the spot. I feel like it's a unique humor. I don't know what it is.
Do you both feel good, that feeling you close the app, or bad?
Close the app. I haven't, like I told you.
No, just not delete, but like you, for example, you finish, like sometimes I finish 1 hour on YouTube. Most of the time, like, what the hell did I just watch? And I feel like crap. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
How do you
100%.
feel when you finish TikTok? Is it like guilt-free?
Oh, you
leisure?
don't have TikTok, is that what you're saying?
I don't have TikTok. I've never had it, because the same thing, I'd be addicted. I'm addicted to YouTube Shorts and I'm version TikTok.
Bro, I did not know anyone watches YouTube Shorts until this guy started.
The other day, Legendary goes, "Hey, there's such thing as YouTube Shorts." And I'm like, that's every morning for half an hour.
He doesn't know.
You know, reminds me of, you know, those guys that actually watch the WhatsApp stories.
Oh,
that's bad.
bro.
That's bad.
Oh,
I'm not that out of the loop. But go, TikTok, how do you feel post usage?
oh my God. That's usually like after 20, 30 minutes.
That's
You
a
honestly,
lie. That's an hour.
Look, it used to be. No, but usually, like, I don't know, for me, sometimes I can be like confused. Like sometimes you get off because you feel like you have to, because it's like, no, it's been too long, or you're actually like not finding as many good things as you thought you were going to find. So you get off and then it's like you're in a daze, and sometimes I'm even confused where I am.
Or you go looking for that dopamine rush that you were looking for.
Yeah,
To
elsewhere.
get that one good video so you can have that laugh and run off, yeah?
Of course,
I
but
know
it's
what
like
you
it
mean.
doesn't always happen though. Like
That's
there's
the fulfillment.
It is, bro. Like, cause
So
when you find TikTok videos, and sometimes like I'm dying of laughter because I never thought I'll find these type of videos. Because some people are so innovative on it
Oh,
that
yeah,
you keep thinking that almost every video is gonna be like that. And there's gonna be times, of course, you're scrolling for 5 minutes, like there's nothing.
some garbage on there, bro.
Exactly. There's
Yeah,
actually
there's
a lot of cringy
garbage.
stuff on it.
that's when I get off and I'm like, okay, now what am I even watching?
Yeah,
You know?
but
Mm.
if I'm being honest, I've regulated it a lot in comparison to what I used to be when I initially used the app. So when I used to use the app, it was kind of like whatever they recommended to me. Yeah, was based off of like, was it always based off of your likes and stuff?
I think it's
don't
what you watch the longest.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Not even likes. If they see you skip it, they're like, we're not going to send you back again.
I think I used to just watch things that got me angry back in the day because my feed was disgusting. Got me so pissed off. And then I started liking more memes and like religious pages and motivational stuff. And like if you see mine now, it's all football. It's all that sort of stuff, funny stuff. So whenever I send him something, or like I have mates that talk about, bro, TikTok is the worst app on earth. I look at them and I go, what do you mean? Like,
They're on the wrong side.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm looking at it and I'm like, bro, I've got no problems at all with it
Mm.
because mine's just Suhaib Web spitting facts, or it's
Football.
or it's football. It's like, but some football videos are just stupid.
Oh, bro. Some
Van
people.
Dijk bumps some guy over and they have like a dramatic song. Ding, 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 ding.
Or a
It's
centre
like,
a
get
centre
out of
back
my
a
face,
centre
man.
back faked it like against a striker. Oh, what a player! It's like, bro, relax, man.
Oh, bro,
So
wallah.
Allah just seek the views.
Yeah.
But I think with the social media, like, you can say anything's bad. It's all specific to the person, like what you use it for. You know, and for example, like me, TikTok, the only reason I don't use it is because I know I'd get addicted to it and I'd spend way too much time on it. That's the only reason. Not because, like, even dopamine or the chemical reactions that I might have, that might play a part, but it's just more about time. Because I really
Yeah.
know how I am on Instagram, and then TikTok's like Instagram on steroids.
Yeah, it is
You know?
basically. Yeah.
Do you know what the guy was likening like social media apps in general to? He's like so the manipulator basically. So he's like there's the manipulator in the background. So what the manipulator does is it because he was talking about how, for example, there's people that would say, I don't want to quote the guy that used to be on the podcast, but this is something that he used to say to us, like, no, I don't see any problem with what I'm doing, and like I've been on social media for 5 hours, 6 hours in the day, or whatever it is. Maybe it's his past, or whatever he used to tell us. But so he's like, I don't really see any problem with what I'm doing. Yeah, I don't think that I'm addicted. I feel like I'm in control of this relationship. Yeah, and basically he likened it. The hippie guy, he likened it. Oh, I feel like I'm disrespecting him, but sorry. He likened it to being in an abusive relationship. He likened it to manipulation being in increments. So it's kind of like, it doesn't get you straight away. Kind of like shaitan.
I was just about to say that.
that. Yeah. So it kind of like, it
Yeah,
gets you bit by
One
bit
by one, yeah.
until you're on there for 8 hours. You know?
Without
Until-
feeling like, without even realizing like that it's a problem.
Yeah.
Like
But that's the thing, that they try to make her not realize it's a problem.
sorry, like Ali was saying from before, yeah? You go on there expecting the same dopamine hit that you got the last time, but you don't get it this time. So you go searching for it for the longest time, and then you're like, I can't get off this app until I find that one thing that's going to make me feel like I felt last time. And then you can't find it. And then what happens? Let me come back later. And then you end up going 1 hour and a half, and yesterday or the day before you were only on it for 20 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes. And then you keep increasing incrementally because they keep, like they said, it's all about impulsive reactions. What's gotten the most impulsive reactions with other people, they're going to recommend to you with the same metrics and data that they've utilized from the other person that they've got it from. So it's all like games, bro. I can't remember what Cal Newport was saying in his TED talk about it. It's kind of like they get some.
It's a good TED talk, by the way.
What
Cal
are they
Newport
called?
on Quit Social Media. You guys should
Yeah.
suss it out.
There's a part of it where he talks about attention engineers or something. I can't remember exactly what it is, but it's talking about it. The like the social media companies in Silicon Valley, they would go after these attention engineers. I'm not 100% sure.
No, it is
paraphrasing,
good, yeah,
but
like psychologists that know how to grab your attention for the longest.
exactly. So he went and got them from casinos and the like, and he told them that, and the Silicon Valley people will tell him, go in there, do your thing, and work your magic. Get these people to be addicted, or get these people to like stay on our app as long as possible, basically. And they work their magic through that, you know.
I think it's, you get a taste for it. Like, you haven't been on social media for how long?
Yeah, and
Or at least you haven't been
a
on
year and a half.
Instagram. Can you say social media? Would you just say
Facebook I
Instagram?
haven't been on. So I'm only saying based off of things that I used to be on for the longest time.
Yeah.
The things that were causing me the most issues from when I used to have it. So it was Facebook, Instagram, and Snapchat.
The thing
I got
is,
off all three of them.
TikTok really isn't social. It's an individual use. So you really
Individual,
aren't like on a social platform.
Yeah.
You know, you're more like an entertainment platform.
Oh yeah,
If
and
you-
Twitter. I quit Twitter too. Sorry. But
Yeah. So that kind of thing. Because I know a lot of people like never really had social media and never really got into it. But I feel like as soon as you get a taste for it, then you kind of
Uh,
get stuck for it.
What
Yeah.
what would you define as addicted when it comes to a social media account? Like, is it the amount of time the person spends on it? Is it the what would you
Time plays a part, but I think if you literally at times just pick up your phone, or even sometimes you unlock your phone and you're on the platform without thinking, you're addicted. Like it's something, it's your subconscious nature, you know, like unlocking the app and stuff. But addiction, because there's levels to addiction. You know, there's the high extreme levels where you probably need like psychological help. But there's even like the small rudimentary level where you just pick up your phone or you're always checking Instagram, you're always scrolling. If it's a consistent thing throughout the day you need to do, I haven't checked Instagram, it's probably an addiction,
100%.
you know?
100%.
Or maybe we don't, if people don't like the word, you probably need help with your connection with social media. It's just that kind of thing, you know?
Yeah.
What would you say, Ali?
I would say it's more like even just like your attention to it. So like, obviously you're gonna know at the end of the day yourself, like with your thoughts, are you thinking about like social media or like going back to your phone? Because at the end of the day, like your phone is a distraction if you have social media there or not. Because I remember days I was still experimenting lockdown. Like I'll delete the app, see what happens. I go on my phone looking for something to do.
Yeah.
And why is that the case? Because it's like I'm addicted to my phone.
Yep.
So like whether it's social media or not, I'm just saying like it's also like your attention and what you're thinking about in your day. Like, are you worried about what's going on elsewhere, or you were actually worried about your own life?
Yeah. I think what we forget is a lot of the times we discount how things can even subconsciously have an effect on the way our chemical makeup is on like in regards to like as a human being. So what we're doing to ourselves is when we're exposing ourselves to things of like that cause high dopamine rushes and whatever. Like I'll give you an example. A lot of people think that me hugging a person or like it doesn't do anything. I don't really get anything out of it or whatever. But there's chemicals that are released called oxytocin. Oxytocin is it's called the cuddle chemical for a reason, the love drug, basically. So what happens is, for example, a guy, he's just friends with a girl or blah blah blah, he hugs the person. What happens is he doesn't even know it, but he's like, the next time I go there, his body's subconsciously looking for that same result because of the situation that's occurred before. Because it got that same thing. It's kind of like your first hit of heroin, basically. So I don't know what it feels like, but from what I've heard, but from what I've heard is basically, whenever you get that first taste of it, it's kind of like it's not gonna be as bad as heroin. Like I'm kind of over exaggerating, but it's
could be
kind of
worse.
Could be. I don't know.
Some young 16-year-old guy, it's worse.
But so I'm kind of like likening it to that, so because it's kind of like an extreme example. I might be exaggerating, but I'm kind of using it for the purpose of for the metaphor. So basically, it's kind of like this brother now goes there and doesn't know why he left the next meeting with that person feeling down or feeling lonely or feeling like shite or his self-esteem is dropped or the likes, and then he doesn't realize it, and then he goes the next time and he feels even lower or he feels, you know what I mean, like that person, and then he doesn't really know what's going on inside him. He might think that he has feelings for the person even though initially it didn't happen. So what I'm trying to like get to is the fact that there's this kind of like there's like a cause and effect of everything that we do externally that has ramifications internally. So you're thinking that me just flicking through a screen and because basically all we're doing is just swiping our fingers and clicking buttons and stuff.
Have you seen those pictures where they remove the phone? How weird people look.
Yeah.
Oh, they're so crazy.
Yeah.
We'll show you that after.
But for us, it's kind of like that. We're just doing this and we're just doing that. And then what we don't realize is that on the inside, like for example, you get a little notification or you get a message or whatever, you get G'd, you have that little dopamine hit straight away. But then the longer you're on your phone, you're like, oh, okay. If I don't stay on longer, Like I won't get that. Like Ali was saying, I won't get that mad meme, or I won't get to that.
FOMO.
You know, or like there's like what you see. Like they tell you to guard what you see. Remember what Wael Ibrahim was telling us?
Yeah.
He's like what was it? What was the statement that we used for the thumbnail? I
Title.
can't believe it. Allah.
It just like what is the title of it? Let's go.
Something before you consume.
Consider.
I think so. Something
Check.
like that. But it's the truth in this
This
situation.
guy. That's what Jamie should be doing.
Yeah, Jamie can't switch on. He's looking at me like this.
It is consider before consuming.
That's the one, bro. Just yeah. Consider that there's always consequences to actions. Always in this
Yeah.
life.
Have you seen that within yourself?
Which is the reason why I got off social media. So, what happened was, the last time I used the app before I decided the next day I'm quitting.
Is this Instagram? Like you're mainly talking about Instagram because that's probably your most used
but
platform.
Yeah. So it was Insta, and then I was kind of going back and forth with Facebook and Snapchat and Twitter. That was a lot. But yeah. So I kind of looked at it, and then it said altogether on social networks it was 8.5 hours.
Like how there?
Yeah.
That's a lot, man.
Yeah, don't get me wrong, but it happened incrementally, like that guy was saying in the thing.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like I woke up one day and then I just go, 8.5 hours a day it is, you know. It went 6 hours the day before,
Yeah, increase
maybe
slowly.
like 4 hours a day
Yeah.
before that, or 2 hours, and there was people that I was messaging, and there was all this other stuff, you know. And then I looked at myself and I go, 8.5 hours. This is the shock I needed to tell myself.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
There's two things on that. I remember one time Jordan Peterson talks about the value of time. And he goes, if you could have 25 hours in a day, 1 extra hour, how much would you spend for that extra hour?
It's priceless, yeah.
It's priceless. But for example, you might say $50. So, okay, I'll spend $50 and I get an extra hour every single day. What would you spend that hour doing? And then before you even get the extra, think about the first
A lot of
24.
people be social media without realizing. Yeah.
But it's like you spend $50 to go on social media.
Yeah.
Obviously, you need like pleasure, you need leisure time, your downtime, whatever you want to call it. But then 8 hours is excessive, bro. Yeah.
What do you think I stopped?
Yeah.
That's what, and becoming more self-aware has helped me in the transition from a social media filled life to like a social media less life. Yeah. So for me, I only started reading books and discovering like how the brain works and whatever, and understanding the ramifications of addictive behavior after the fact. So when I had the time to do things like that, you know? So what happened was it not only freed time up for me to just do things that are more productive, but to learn about what the hell was going on when I was on the actual app, wasting my time and wasting my concentration and attention span on useless nonsense, you know?
I know like social media has an effect on me sometimes too in the mornings. It's a weird thing, but like if I wake up and spend the first half an hour on YouTube, the next 3 hours are probably not going to be the best. But then those mornings where I actually just leave my phone in the other side of the room and go do stuff, but I feel like amazing. I feel better without my phone.
It changes
And
your whole day, right?
It's the weirdest thing. It's like using your phone when you wake up affects your mental state and affects your productivity levels, affects your focus. And then using it before you sleep affects your ability to go in deep sleep, REM sleep, you know, quality of sleep. So it's like before and after, it just shouldn't be used.
100%, man.
But it's so easy.
So how do you how do you deal with that? Because I find the morning is harder, because you're right. Like that first half an hour when you're waking up, like obviously your mind's going crazy, like your thoughts, whatever. If you're getting up early, your mind's fighting to go back to sleep and whatever, thinking of excuses to not do productive things. How do you avoid like going on your screens and stuff? Because honestly, bro, it's easier said than done.
Look,
Like I'm just saying personally, like for the
YouTube shorts.
Nah, I've been trying to stop that.
less addictive to TikTok.
What I do for now, YouTube, I ask myself, it's like, why am I opening the platform? Because YouTube, I think like maybe TikTok's the same where time goes quick, but I can watch 3 vlogs and that's 50 minutes. Do you get it? Or like 3 videos in the morning. It's like, what the hell? You know, so time can kind of go quick and you won't even realize. But now when I open the platform, I kind of ask myself, what am I going to watch?
Oh, so what's
Intentional?
The point of
What's the point of me doing? Because
Oh,
maybe
okay, yeah.
Instagram's not the same unless you want to reply to messages.
But you
But
can
I reckon even with social media, try go off messaging on Instagram and move to other platforms.
Yeah, definitely.
You know?
One thing that I learned from, there was an interview that J. Cole did with I can't remember what her name was, but he did an interview. I think I sent it to you boys. He spoke about why he quit social media, and they were like to him like, although you can be, you know, the light of change on that platform of negativity, you know, you can be the one that can help, you know, guide the youth or the lost ones. I have a lot of questions about what's going on
That's
there.
why I just falling. It's alright.
Okay.
Okay.
So I was gonna lift my legs off. Sorry, bro. But yeah. So basically, J. Cole goes, look, there's this issue. I'm a human too. So what happens is, because I have addictive behavior, I don't want things to pull my strings. Yeah, which to me resonated a lot with myself. I kind of go, 8.5 hours is basically of me with an idle mind, not really knowing or understanding what I'm doing here. Yeah, but it's happening. And what's happening is the people who are behind these apps or these social media platforms are pulling my strings. So I'm losing control of my own life, which Allah gave to me to use for my own benefit or for the benefit of others, you know? And one thing that I realized also was I wasn't really doing anything to benefit myself on these apps. I was basically looking at other people's business.
Can I ask on that? Do you reckon your relationships improved? Like your relationship with your friends improved since you got off social media?
100%. 150%.
Wow.
Why is that?
You know what happens when you're consistently just flicking through things? Your attention span starts to diminish, you know? Your concentration levels. So when, for example, me and you would have a conversation, my head would be somewhere else.
So then
It's
you're
kinda
talking to me and start scrolling
Yeah,
through me.
yeah. I was basically, I'm scrolling past one of his. I was like, okay, no. Okay,
Yeah.
no. Kind of like, because you have such a small window to kind of gain the attention of a person, you know, or the attention of a user when you're on that platform. So that's why people tell you, if you don't get somebody's attention within the first 50 milliseconds or something like that, or within the
TikTok's
first
making it
5
quicker,
seconds,
yeah.
bro, the person's gone. They're not even gonna bother with you, you know. So what's happening is what's happening is they're kind of creating people with low-key ADHD where they can't just sit down and just relax and focus on what's going on in front of them. They're just automatically going, okay, this is a lot more drawn out or stretched out than I expected it to be. So let me go somewhere else where I can kind of like, you know, quickly get a laugh.
Yeah, so what I was saying is that, like, I start to notice with myself, like, human interactions, because I still have social media, but the days I overconsume, I'm not present with the person in front of me. And, like, I am listening to them, I am understanding sometimes what they're saying, but not everything, which it doesn't make sense. Like, why aren't you not present with that person?
Yeah.
You're too busy thinking about your own thoughts or your things that you want more than whatever they're speaking about, whether it's themselves
Yeah.
or important things happening in their lives.
It corrupts your view of the person as well.
100%.
You kind of look at
It's
them
terrible.
like they're boring now, or they're not really, you know, like they're not stimulating enough for me, but then you don't realize that you're just you're in a state of like hyper. I don't know how to say it. What's that word now? I remember seeing it. Okay.
No, your mind's just cluttered.
There you go,
Like, it's
yeah,
just
yeah.
cluttered. It's like there's so many thoughts because, firstly, like you're overstimulated from like the dopamines, the humor, entertainment, whatever you're getting, and also there's other thoughts that are created from that. It's like, oh, what about this? What about that? Football, sports, this and that. It's like there's too much going on in your mind. It's not healthy. You're meant to just be focusing on everything in front of you.
The best thing I like about not having social media with my friends is whenever I see my friend, it's actual catch up. But you get, if you post, for example, one story a day, a couple posts here and there a week, you kind of know everything that's going on with your mates. So when you see him, it's like, hey, how is this? How is that? But you kind of, they already posted it.
Yeah.
So when you kind of see someone who you have no idea what they've done for 2 months, it's like a mad catch up.
It's genuine.
That's what I kind of like, yeah.
And if the person actually posted it, they kind of feel like, I've already spoken about it there. So if you ask him about what he's posted, they're gonna look at you like, you already know what happened. Why are you even asking me that question?
I find that so weird, man. Because imagine like you bump into like an old high school mate and you still follow him online and you see him, hey, what's been happening? But you know everything. So you ask him just because of like to break the ice. and you know
Imagine
all the
someone-
answers. It's like
Imagine someone goes, check
So-
Insta.
oh, that's
What's
weird.
happening?
That is so awkward.
Check this kick. There.
But that's just how it is. Like
Yeah.
even just me talking about this, I'm starting to realize, bro, I've got to take a break. Like I
Yeah.
think even because the apps are designed, well, the programs are designed to be for the apps. It's specific. So if you go on the web, it's not addictive at all. There's no explore page. There's no. Can you go on TikTok on the web?
On the web, yeah, you can, but it's
Oh, wow.
very dodgy.
Yeah, see, so it's not. It doesn't like.
It's pretty dodgy. Yeah, they give you random videos afterwards. You didn't even know you needed to watch. So it's
So-
not really like personalized.
But it shows it's like they made it specifically for the applications. So I think what I'm gonna do is like shift over to the web, still have it, because you can still access like messaging people and that, and then test that out. Because I think Cal Newport mentioned that if you really do need it for work, for example, then you at least have it on the web and you access it like once in a while.
Yeah, he gives actually a lot of tips. He even said one time that I tried to do, he goes, just have structured time to use it.
Yeah.
So it's not free will. Use it, for example, in the morning or at night.
Yeah,
Or even
set a
like-
time, yeah.
Yeah, even like guilt free, like say anytime after 6. But then the whole day, at least when you're doing your work or whatever, your uni stuff, it's like, okay, boom.
Definitely, man.
Yeah, that's an interesting one.
All right, thank you guys for watching. Remember to subscribe. We're trying to hit the 2K mark, so please subscribe. All right. Peace.